My God, I thank you for another opportunity to stand in your pulpit. Lord, I ask as I'm here today that I not be a hindrance or stumbling block for anyone. I ask my words be according to your will and your way and your word. Lord, I ask these things all in Jesus' name. Amen. The lead mule picks songs. And the lead mule is very much a compliment. Because I'm telling y'all, if you got a lead mule, a good lead mule, all the other mules will follow. They will follow. To their detriment, they will all follow. We got a great lead mule. But this song we just sing, Same God, leads me to what I wanted to talk about today. That God knows us. When He created us, He knew all that we would need. From the moment that we were spoken into existence, He knew that He would give us a precious gift. The gift He would give us would satisfy all of our needs. And I talked to you last week about the Archangel Gabriel. And Gabriel went to Elizabeth in the message that we had last week. And today we look at the message that he brings to a young girl named Mary. This is from Luke chapter 1, verses 26 through 31. In the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent by God to a town in Galilee called Nazareth, to a virgin engaged to a man named Joseph of the house of David. The virgin's name was Mary, and the angel came to her and said, "Rejoice, favored woman. The Lord is with you." But she was deeply troubled by this statement, wondering what kind of greeting this could be. Then the angel told her, "Not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. Now listen, you will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will call his name Jesus." We usually talk about Mary here and how afraid she is, and I do want to mention that, because Mary had to be afraid. She wasn't yet married to her betrothed husband, Joseph. And this angel was telling her that she's going to have a baby. That's probably scary enough alone, I can only imagine. But the first fright here is that an angel is standing before her. Not just an angel, but an archangel, and Gabriel. He's standing here and he's bringing her this message. And that alone must have been terrifying. I know it was, because Gabriel's first words to her was, "Don't be afraid." So she's here dealing with all this. And I want to say those things to you because they're important to know. But what I really want to talk to you about is the need and the supply. The world was made for us. We were made in fellowship with Him. The angels were made for various reasons, like we discussed last week. Gabriel for taking the message and explaining the messages. And seeing all the care that God put into those things that I just mentioned, being all of creation. Y'all, and I glanced over all of creation so fast. I have to think that there was something about Gabriel that made him able to do his job beyond explanation. Not just bringing a message, but bringing understanding. And I say he thought he brought understanding because Mary and Elizabeth both seemed to accept the news that Gabriel brought. From the beginning, it was as it is now. From the beginning, you and I were going to need Jesus to come into the world. From the beginning, John was going to come and announce Jesus' arrival. From the beginning, Jesus made these angels to do this work. All of this from the beginning. Sin came into the world while there was only Adam and Eve. From the beginning, man made a mess of God's creation. We never stopped making a mess. All that I told you before, that sentence that I told you, so that I can say all the other sentences to you, God planned. He knew. He knows. From the beginning, with everything He created, He brought us to right here and right now. Every person that came before, everything that happened around to you or for you, or it was all known in a way was given to you to find your way out of that trouble. All that I've told you that's so complicated, all the plans that He made, all that He spoke into existence, all the thousands of years and all the mess that we see or have seen, the answer is simple. God took all the complicated. God did all the work, designed all of this so that it would be simple for us. I don't need to do anything to be worthy. I don't need to do anything so that I'm deserving. I don't have any price to pay because I never could. It's simple. Just don't try to stand away stand in the way of him being him. Just accept that he is who he is, and he loves you. And he loves you so much that all you have to do is have faith in his plan. I wrote at the bottom of this, you were always known. Can y'all feel that in your life? You understand that you are always known? When I talk about how short life is and how short my life and my time is here, and you're the same way. You know, I don't care if you live to be 120 years old, that's a blink. But God knew of my short time at creation. God knew as he raised mountains and separated the seas. God knew as he did all this that there would be a need. And he knew that I would have a need. And each thing that he put in place, all the birds, the animals, the creation that I glance over so easily here, because do y'all understand how many steps there are just in those trees you see out there? How everything has to work perfectly for those trees to come up and shade us and offer us oxygen. You understand all that has to happen for that to be there? Do you understand all that has to happen in your life for you to just take a breath? Now, go back to the garden, to Adam and Eve. As they began sin and God knew that would come in. As all of this began, God already had a plan for how he would have me come back. Because in the beginning, when it was just Adam and Eve, I was still on his mind, and you were still on his mind. In the beginning, as Adam was saying there, Lord, this woman gave me this apple, and I ate it, and Lord, you made her. As all that's going on, God knew that there would be a me. He knew that there would be a me. As Adam is offering these pitiful explanations or blaming God for what had happened, God knew that there would be a me. You know, I tell you that. I point out the blaming God and the explanations or the excuses because we do the same thing today. I mean, there's nothing different. We got excuses for why we don't come to church. We got excuses for why we don't do more for God. We got excuses for why we're not more faithful than we are. We got excuses for why our prayer life isn't what it's supposed to be, or why we don't study our Bibles as much, or why we don't witness because you just don't have the words. Y'all, I don't know who could butcher the language more than me. We got excuses. But God knew that. He knew that. He gave us the one thing that would wipe all those things away. He gave us Jesus Christ. He sent Jesus Christ into this world to die, to pay our sin debt. He sent him here to do that. But as he walked this world, he walked that life that would inspire and lead us and show us that no matter our circumstances, where we come from, a manger, the wrong side of the tracks, whatever, we don't have to be where the world places us. Because we are where the Lord put us. And he had a plan for each one. You understand that as Adam and Eve left the garden, God was already laying the next steps that would bring them back to paradise. That each person, each step, just in the Christmas story, just in the telling of Jesus' birth and Mary and Joseph going to be counted, when did the wise men leave on their journey? The wise men left months and years before to go and search for Jesus Christ. To go and search for Jesus. They were already on their journey, not knowing where they were going, but knowing they were supposed to go. That's our life. Not knowing where we're supposed to go, but knowing we got to go. But God already knows. Jesus already knows. He already laid it from the foundations of the earth. He knew where we would be in this moment. In this moment. The only variable there is which one of his plans he'll use. Is it going to be the plan that leads to where I'm obedient? To where I'm faithful? Is it going to be that plan? Or is it going to be the one where I take the left turn? Where I turn away? You know, the thing about these plans is they're made for my benefit and his glory. So as I take the righteous plan, God orders that path for me and the blessings come. As I take the wrong path, God has put more obstacles to get me back on track. All the things that were laid out, all the things that were put in place. And I wonder, you know, had the world been more faithful, how long it might have taken the wise men to get there. You know, they had to go around these leaders that were searching for Jesus. They had to go around this, they had to go there, and then on their way back, they had to go another way because they were still looking. All that was put in the way, as Moses walked through the desert, made it a place that they could have done, and they could have traveled that way walking in a few weeks. But it took them 40 years in the desert to get to the place. Y'all, this journey is about us. This journey is about us and our wrong step, our missteps. This journey is about where we need to go and where we need to be. But understand that God knows that from the onset, from the beginning, from the moment he spoke us into existence. God knows and he knew that God gave us this journey to bring us to where we are. So if you're at the bottom, just understand that you're just starting your journey out. If you're in the pit, if you're mired in the muck and the mud, just understand you're just starting out here. Jesus Christ started in a manger. Y'all, ain't nothing pretty about a manger. It's really cute when they sit it out in front of church with the soft flowing hay coming out of it and the nice pillow and the soft warm blanket that the baby's wrapped and laid in the manger. But that's probably not what it was. It stunk. It stunk. They were in a barn. I don't know if y'all got angels. I mean, if y'all got animals, but when you pour food into the bucket, to the trough, whatever you feed them out of, that thing just gets dirty and dirty and dirty and dirtier. It just continues to get more so. It's not appetizing. It's not appetizing. I don't imagine that they clean this manger out every day. It was just a dirty place to begin a journey, but what a journey. You know, what a way, where are you at? I doubt you're in a stinky manger. But you might be mired and bogged down in worry and woe, in disobedience and struggle and strife. You might be mired and bogged down, and you might not see a way forward. But as the world would see it, there's no way Jesus Christ would be the King of heaven. There's no way Jesus Christ could be the Messiah laying in that dirty manger. There's no way a student who's been suspended for everything written in the blue book could ever stand before you and preach. There's no way that a brother and sister in the Lord who led an awful sinful life could be church leaders. There's no way you could come from where you came from and be who you're supposed to be. There's no way. That's a lie that Satan and the world tells you. That's a lie that they're telling you, that they want to keep you down. Understand that jealousy exists. That's where Satan came from anyway. That's where he started out, as he was jealous, and God knew everything. He knew everything. He knew that all that woe, all that worry would be in your way. All that woe and all that worry would try to stop and hinder you from where you're supposed to be. But Jesus Christ laid out a plan to combat everything that the world and the devil threw at you or throws at you. It's all there. It's all here. It's all here. Jesus Christ came and he walked. For those few years that he walked this earth, he walked, and he gave us example of how we were to walk in the face of adversity, in the face of hunger even, in the face of persecution, in the face of all these things. Jesus Christ walked, and I like to say one more word after that. He walked anyway. Knowing all that he knew about us, knowing how many times I would deny him in my life, knowing how many times you denied him in his life, he walked anyway. He kept going. He kept going. He kept laying out example after example and performing miracle after miracle, saving soul after soul. He rose them from the dead. He made the lame walk. He's let the blind see. He did it anyway, knowing that you would refuse him and I would refuse him. Knowing that so many people are riding by out there right now that don't know who he is and don't care. Knowing all that, he still was born into that manger, walked a perfect life, and then laid on a cross for me. Ain't no way I could ever pay him back. No way I could ever pay him back. And he didn't ask me to pay him back. Man, I sure want to make him proud. Don't you want to make him proud? I pray that God will look down on us and say, well done, good servant. I pray that God will look down and amend that a little bit. Well done, child. If we could amend it a little more. Well done, my child. That's who I am. Like John said, I'm the one that Jesus loves. I'm the one. you should claim that. You should claim that this baby that laid in the manger, that the God who spoke the world into existence, that the Lord who laid out a plan to combat all the evil and wrong and misdeeds that you've done, the Lord that laid those things out is still walking with you. He's still here with you. Because all that he did then wasn't enough for somebody he loves as much as me. All that he did wasn't enough for somebody he loves as much as you. And not because I say it's not enough, because I just look and I marvel at how much he's given, but because he said it wasn't enough. Went to the cross, came back from the grave, rose again, came in spirit, fills us and dwells us and walks with us every day, every single day. He said, what you had wasn't enough, so I'm going to give more. What you going to give? No, you can't give what he gave. Don't even try. But I pray you look at your father with the senses and sensibilities of a child, and you want to make him proud. I want to make him proud. I think he looks at you folks, and I believe he's proud. I'm amazed so often at what this little tiny church is able to do. I'm amazed so often at the things and the impact you make in the community and people who don't know, and I'm surprised so often by people who hear things we do and find out what our attendance is or what our membership is, and they say, really, y'all can do that? No, we can't. He can. He can. All those things that he gave you to do, he equipped you to do. All those places that he sent you that you never thought you could go, you went because he said to go. All those souls, those people that heard and accepted the message of Jesus Christ, they heard and accepted because you were obedient. And he didn't have to send somebody else. I pray that you continue that path. I pray that you continue that walk because he's worthy. I pray that as we enter into this Christmas season, as this celebration of Jesus Christ's birth, I pray that you remember that gift that he gave and continues to give to you. I pray that you remember that because without it, there's no reason to have this season. There is no reason to have this celebration. But knowing him, seeing him, being his child should fill you with that love and adoration that brings you to a truly worshipful state where Christmas can mean something. Where Christmas can mean something. And it should offer you the opportunity to tell people, no, the lights are pretty, the trees are pretty, the presents are nice. But that ain't what it's about. Be on the lookout right now, because some words are going to start entering into our language, and they're going to be one after another, and people are going to think they're well-meaning and smart when they say them. When they see a child being given a gift, or a hungry family being fed, when they see a coat being given to the cold, the homeless given shelter, when they see these things, they're going to see the giving, and they're going to say, well, that's what the season is all about. It's not. It's not. The season is about Jesus Christ giving all that he gave. And because he gave all that he gave, we'll do those other things. But it's not so they be warm. It's not so their bellies be fed. It's not so they feel comforted. But it is. But for your part and for my part, it's because he said to do it. He said to do it. And the blessing in that part that he foresaw. The blessing is that when we do what he said to do, that they are fed, and they are warm, and they do have food. But it's all because of him, all for him, and all due him. I'm going to ask our musicians to come forward. I'm going to tell you that Jesus Christ was born. He died, he went to the grave, he came back, and through all that, he did it so that you and I would have the opportunity we have today. If you're not saved, you have the opportunity to come forward and accept Christ. The Bible says, believe on him and you'll be saved. Believe on him. It's not any harder than that. It ain't no easier either. Not any harder than that. Believe on him. No other way to the Father but through the Son. And the only way to the Son is believe. Believe. Y'all believe that he's supplying for you. Believe that he came for you. Believe that he can save you because he can. I'm standing here, I'm evidence he can. So many around you are evidence that he can, and he does. If you are saved, if you are in a world of woe, he can take that from you too. Be obedient and walk the path that he's laid out for, and he'll take you out of it. Be obedient. Do what you're called to do, because he did all that he was called to do, and he laid out a plan that would lead you to everything you'll need to do. as we sing. Do your business with you. And I try to convey the same thing to you nearly every week. To say we're blessed is such an understatement. It doesn't cover all that's been given to us, all that's been done for us. It doesn't cover the care and the concern that's been placed into every aspect of our life. Every person that comes into our life, everything that comes into our life is given to us for reason and for purpose. Is given to us for His glory. Everything that comes to us like that was designed. Everything that comes was meant to be. So when those troubles come and those worries come, don't let them hold you back. They're an opportunity for His glory to be seen, for His strength to be seen. Embrace them, not in a manner of wanting to hold on to them, but embrace them in a manner of wanting to defeat the worry and the woe, in a manner of wanting to defeat all those things that Satan will throw before you, in a manner of wanting to defeat those. Embrace them, defeat them, and then cast them aside and move on. All right? We're going to go out into the world. The world's waiting. They need to know. They need to hear. I thought we was going to be out there doing a parade today, but that ain't going to happen. And y'all, I'm telling you right now, start praying next week. Don't be like this. Right? 'Cause I want us to be out there. I want them to see us. I want us to see your shining faces. I want us to see your smiles. I want them to see how Jesus Christ welcomes each one of us. No matter where we come from, no matter where we've been, He welcomes each one of us. And I want them to see that. Start praying for fair weather. But if it don't come, that's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. We'll find a way for victory in that. But in the meantime, you pray. You pray like it all depends on you, knowing that it all depends on Him. All hearts clear? We going into the world. They wait. They need to know, and they need to hear. You need to show them. As we go on to know, the Lord loves you. And I do too. Miss Kimberly, would you close us with prayer?